am happy to share this platform with some of the most eminent voices and opinion leaders. Today at the Times Now Summit, celebrating India at 75 and shaping India at 100. As India's leading automobile manufacturing company, Maruti Suzuki intends to celebrate this milestone and acknowledge the many achievements of India at 75 and collaboratively work towards strengthening the future of India. In fact, post-liberalization, Maruti Suzuki has been a harbinger of India's growth story. So our customer says India drives home in a Maruti Suzuki. We are honored to be part of India's growth. Through the pandemic, the auto industry has endured and continued to thrive through the often turbulent and dynamic nature of this industry. Despite being hit through the pandemic and current supply chain issues, which was referred to earlier, the Indian auto industry stands resilient as it gears up for the next phase of growth. The Indian automobile sector is intrinsic to the economic growth of our country, as auto industry's growth has a direct correlation with India's GDP. Indian auto sector contributes to the GDP almost 7.1%, and we generate employment opportunities for over 37 million people in India. The Indian auto sector makes up 49% of the manufacturing GDP, and with the increasing disposable income and the growing young population in India, in car penetration of just about 25 per thousand people, as if you compare it with those of the more developed countries, 700 to 800 cars per thousand, the auto industry has an immense potential to be a major growth driver for India. In fact, from being nowhere on the world car manufacturing just 35 years back, when the volume for people who know of those times, 70,000 was the volume in 1985, and it has grown today to over 3 million. We are now the 5th largest automobile passenger vehicle car manufacturer and poised to become 4th soon in the future. And I can say that the future is ours. Speaking about the other auto segments, I would like to highlight that India is the largest manufacturer of two-wheelers and tractors, 5th largest manufacturer of commercial vehicles in the world. In the last 75 years, the automobile industry has been a hallmark of invention, of innovation and resilience. It has been an essential backbone of India's progress and shall continue to play an indispensable role in leading India to fulfill its $5 trillion economy ambition. Today, while we celebrate India at 75, I would like to share our contribution to this journey and how we are aligning for the next 25 years. Auto industry role in boosting India's manufacturing progress. Automobile manufacturing contribution has been a driving force of the sector. It is therefore important to raise the share of manufacturing in India's GDP to at least 20% in the next 5 years from the existing 17%. The pandemic has presented a unique opportunity for India to fundamentally reassess its role in being a global manufacturing giant and encourage more supply chain diversification within its domestic markets. The supply chain crisis that we see today reinforces the urgent need for India to prioritize localization and boost domestic manufacturing of critical components. Recently announced government's PLI scheme is a step in the right direction towards developing an ecosystem that is conducive for localizing the total automotive value chain in India. Auto industry exports and is also very important in the Indian auto sector with an annual turnover. We just heard Gadkari-san talking about 7.5 lakh crore rupees and exports are worth about 3.5 lakh crores. The auto industry's export growth and job creation capacity have a large bearing on our country's development as a formidable manufacturing destination in the coming years. Today, nearly 90% components of Maruti Suzuki vehicles are localized, and there are still some components for which we still rely on imports. So the pivot towards a more aggressive local manufacturing is something that every auto industry player stands to benefit from. India's auto industry must be self-reliant and to become truly globally competitive. And that is why Maruti Suzuki is very much aligned to the Make in India initiative. Auto industry is pivotal to India's manufacturing prowess. For the auto industry to be fully out of the woods, there is only one mantra: growth, growth, and growth. At Maruti Suzuki, we believe that to accelerate the growth potential, we must ensure that more and more Indians are able to afford cars. Suzuki Motor Corporation, our parent organization in Japan, has been prioritizing the development of the technologies that are suitable for the Indian market. For us, small is big. Maruti Suzuki is fully committed towards building a future that will further India's ambition of achieving its net zero emission targets of carbon by 2070, irrespective of regulatory requirements. For many years, Maruti Suzuki has been working towards reducing carbon footprint, and we have adopted a combination of powertrain technologies based on electrification and CNG to bring India closer to that ambition, net zero carbon ambition. Maruti Suzuki's fleet of cars have the least carbon emission per kilometer as the latest report of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. They are thus the cleanest and the most efficient in the industry. We are looking at new ways of reducing the carbon footprint. With every new model we introduce, we will try to achieve and move towards that goal. I'm pleased to share today, in fact, that I've just come from the launch of India's most fuel-efficient petrol car, the new Celerio, and talking about also digitization, driving innovation in the auto industry. The digital disruption has left no exceptions, and the Indian auto industry has undergone an accelerated transformation, not just in terms of more digital-first vehicle features, but also in terms of digitalization of most of the customer journey from stage of inquiry to physical delivery of the car to the customer. Therefore, more than ever, digital is increasingly occupying the center of our strategy. At Maruti Suzuki, we have already digitized 24 of the 26 touch points that the customer goes through in his purchase journey. The industry recognizes that most customers have become increasingly digital savvy, and meeting this preference requires a strong tech support on the back end and a data-driven hyperlocal marketing approach. We have completely reimagined the traditional purchase journey with the digital sales experience that is truly befitting the digital future. Right from utilizing data analytics to artificial intelligence, leveraging big data to personalized marketing for the individual customer, servicing choices of predictive behavior, we are big time into leveraging upcoming technology and digital tools to delight our customers to the core. In fact, not only customer journey, but growth in digital infrastructure and adoption of technologies like 3D printing, digital twin, DT, edge computing, and the IoT, robotic process automation, the RPA, has improved speed and efficiencies across automobile design and manufacturing. In line with the consumer's evolving lifestyle preferences, we have personalized, flexible, hassle-free ownership also. We have introduced the Maruti Suzuki Subscribe, which empowers consumers with a surprisingly easy option to bring home a new car. Maruti Suzuki was also, by the way, the first automobile company to introduce a multi-financier end-to-end online car financing solution and real-time loan tracking for its buyers. It's a one-stop online finance portal that empowers customers to transform their buying experience through a digital approach. Critical factors that will help the Indian auto industry achieve its true potential in the next 25 years, I'll just like to elaborate. Today, amongst the august and distinguished gathering of policymakers, head of states with topics of national importance and vision ranging from human and spiritual advancement, cutting-edge technology like space, trade, and economy. We thank organizers for including manufacturing among the topics today, because while we have to formulate and pursue national, state, health, and tech vision for the future, the economy must keep growing, wherein manufacturing and auto industry will play a really big role. The auto industry will see major changes in technology in the next 25 years, with increasing focus and concerns surrounding it bringing down the pollution levels. I think it was referred to in the earlier discussions as well. Reducing import costs, burden of oil, overall sustainability, new powertrain options like natural gas, biofuels, hybrids, hydrogen fuel cells, EVs will have to be explored to address the same and contribute positively to the economy. In future, auto industry shall continue to play a critical part in India's growth, exports, employment, as there is massive manpower that is deployed in manufacturing units, the dealership networks, the tier 1, the tier 2, the tier 3 vendors, their ancillary units. Alongside, India is becoming therefore a global hub for manufacturing, high volume models for exports as well. I believe that Indian auto industry has weathered some of the toughest market conditions while not losing sight of the future. Throughout it all, our industry has been focused on overcoming the challenges of today and tomorrow as we relentlessly explore and develop technologies that will take our nation to the next frontiers of progress. Indian auto industry is sitting at the cusp of a massive growth explosion, especially in the current macroeconomic scenario, where the world is looking at a China plus one policy. Herein, on the basis of our manufacturing prowess, the economies of scale, the ingenuity, the reasonably priced labor, we stand to gain the maximum from this latent opportunity of expansion. Maruti Suzuki is preparing, along with the auto industry, for the most exciting 25 years of India's automotive journey to become a global leader with sizable young population ready to put wheels to their dreams and aspirations of the newfound freedom of mobility. While we look forward to India continue to drive home in Maruti Suzuki, we also foresee that in Indian automobile industry's journey to pinnacle lies the turbocharger for accelerating India's zenith of global leadership. Let us resolve together to make India greater. Jai Hind. Thank you.
I won't waste time before I begin asking you the question. Very influential minister, of course, somebody who has been able to retain the Prime Minister's trust over the last 7 years. So, Mr. Gadkari, please do speak to us as you always do, openly, frankly, and without hesitation. Ambitious infrastructure targets have been set. How do you think you're going to achieve them over the next few years, and give us a little sense of the roadmap?
Actually, India has got the huge potential for development. India is the fastest growing economy. The young, talented engineering manpower, highest in the world, is available with India. And most important thing is now our economy is growing. For the economy, for the industry, we need good infrastructure, that is water, power, transport, and communication. As far as the road sector is concerned, we are now presently making 38 kilometers per day in spite of problem because of we are facing COVID-19. Still, we have the highest world record of making of road construction 38 kilometers per day. For this year also, we have already recorded 3 world record. One is making of cement concrete 4-lane road, 2.5 kilometer in 24 hours in Mumbai-Delhi express highway on Vadodara section. That is to be world record. This second world record, that is going to Bijapur and in Karnataka and in Maharashtra, Solapur-Bijapur way. We have constructed 1-lane bitumen road of 26 kilometer in 22 hours. So the construction of highway 38 kilometer per day, we are highest in the world. This 3 world record clearly indicates that our government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has given highest priority for development of good infrastructure in the country. We are making not only roads, but we are making green express highways, we are making airports, we are making waterways, and also there is a great increase in the railway, 2-laning, 4-laning also there, and it is also to be increasing and making good records. So that is the reason that we are totally giving all facility for development of infrastructure in the country. And this infrastructure is going to increase our export, is going to increase more production in industrial sector, and 100% it is going to create more jobs. And exactly that is the dream of our Prime Minister, to make Indian economy as Atmanirbhar Bharat and 5 trillion economy. Now the Gati Shakti scheme is also launched, and we have given highest priority for infrastructure, by which 100% within 5 years we will make Indian economy strong and India to be one of the strong economy in the world. I'm very much confident about it.
I hope that happens. You are often referred to, Gadkari ji, आपके बारे में कहा जाता है, you're the top performer of Mr. Modi's cabinet. When people say this, जब ये कहा जाता है आपके बारे में, तो आप कैसे रिएक्ट करते हैं?
नहीं, ये तो आप तय कर रहा है कौन क्या क्या कहना है। मैं तो इतना ही मानता हूं कि मुझे एक अवसर मिला है देश के लिए काम करने का। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुझे अवसर दिया है और इस देश के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, फिर शिपिंग पोर्ट में मुझे अवसर मिला, वाटर रिसोर्सेस में मिला, गंगा को अच्छा करने का मौका मिला और नमामि गंगे में गंगा शुद्धिकरण का काम करने का मौका मिला। तो मैं यही चाहता हूं कि देश के निर्माण में आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने के जो हमारी प्रधानमंत्री की सोच है, उसमें मुझे जो भी काम मिला है वो कितना अच्छा मैं कर सकता हूं वो करने का मैं प्रयास करता हूं। बाकी बातें तो आप लोगों के ऊपर है, आपको क्या लगता है और क्या नहीं लगता, आप लोग।
Well, perhaps it's for this reason, इसी वजह से प्रधानमंत्री जी आपका पोर्टफोलियो कभी बदलते नहीं है।
एक्चुअली क्या हुआ कि मैं जब महाराष्ट्र में 95 में मंत्री बना, मनोहर जोशी जी के मंत्रिमंडल में, तब गोपीनाथ मुंडे जी उप मुख्यमंत्री थे, उन्होंने मुझे पीडब्ल्यूडी का काम दिया और मुंबई में 55 फ्लाईओवर्स, वर्ली बांद्रा सीलिंग प्रोजेक्ट जो समुद्र में बना हुआ है, और मुंबई पुणे एक्सप्रेस हाईवे, 3 प्रोजेक्ट मैंने उस समय किए। और उसके बाद मुझे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लगातार जिम्मेदारी मिली। अटल जी प्रधानमंत्री थे तो उन्होंने ये जो गांव को जोड़ने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, वो भी बनाने का सौभाग्य अटल जी ने मुझे दिया। मेरे अध्यक्षता में कमेटी अपॉइंट की और मैंने वो योजना तैयार की थी। तभी मैंने नेशनल हाईवे के लिए भी एक योजना तैयार की थी। तो स्वाभाविक रूप से इस काम में लग गया, तो इस काम में मुझे आगे भी जिम्मेदारियां मिलती गई। मुझे तो आनंद है इस बात का है कि मैं ये मानता हूँ कि पॉलिटिक्स इज द इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ सोशियो इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म, और अगर हम देश के लिए, देश के विकास के लिए, देश के आर्थिक प्रगति के लिए, लोगों को सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट देने के लिए अगर हम कुछ कर सकते हैं तो वेलफेयर राज्य में, कल्याणकारी राज्य में यही हमारा कर्तव्य है और हमने उसको अच्छी तरीके से करना, यही इंपॉर्टेंट है। और अभी आजकल में वाटर पोल्यूशन, एयर पोल्यूशन और साउंड पोल्यूशन के बारे में भी हमारी ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्ट्री में उपयोग करके अलग अलग फ्यूल लाकर, मास रैपिड ट्रांसपोर्ट और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वो लाकर, इथेनॉल, मिथेनॉल, बायोडीजल, बायो सीएनजी, एलएनजी, इलेक्ट्रिक, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन, इस पे काम करके ये कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि हमारे देश की इकोनॉमी को भी कैसे मजबूत करें और इंपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव पोल्यूशन फ्री और इंडिजिनस टेक्नोलॉजी को लाकर हमारी इकोनॉमी को मजबूत कैसे करें। जैसे हमारे किसानों को हम इथेनॉल बनाएंगे तो हमारे किसान भी केवल अन्नदाता नहीं रहेंगे, ऊर्जादाता रहेंगे। और यही कोशिश है कि अलग अलग नए इनिशिएटिव के साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में ये करने की हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Thank you very much, Mr. Gadkari, for speaking to us. I know you're pressed for time. Otherwise, I would have liked to open this floor up for our audience, but maybe another time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.